And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Hello, Abraham. Abraham, I have a question about business, and it could relate to a workplace as well. Is a business or workplace, does it have its own vibration?
Every point in time and space does. But it's important to understand that the active vibrations are what matter. In other words, what's happened there before can leave a lingering vibration. But what's going on now is so much more. And if you really want to influence a space, get connected to source before you enter, and then it would not ever matter anything that had ever happened there before. Your source connection and your presence and focus within it would make everything else irrelevant by comparison.
That answers 90% of it. I'm in an advisory capacity in a business, and the business has all the problems that you just spoke about that took place in the past, and I'm trying to get to the point where we can move past that and go in a different direction.
This will be very helpful to you, to all of you, but this is a really important thing to know, and it'll be easier for you to know it, remember it, because of all that we've just been talking about. If you could focus just for a moment right here with us on the idea of what you bring to the meeting place. What are you bringing to the room or to the table? So let's say that you've been focused upon problems and that's what's active within you. So that's what you're bringing to the table when you enter the forum. Let's say things have been going very well and you've been focusing on things that are going very well. So you are in alignment, but it's conditional. Still, that's what you bring to the forum. Let's say that things haven't been going so well, but that every morning you meditate and that you got into that really centered place this morning and you were ready to get ready. So you brought all of your resources to the room, to the table, to the forum. You have more influence than most of you ever utilize, because most people observe what's at the table and then that's why they offer the vibration that they do, rather than getting ready to be at the table and offering the leveraged alignment.
So basically it just all comes back to me.
Well, you're not the only one that is introducing vibration to a gathering, but only your vibration can you do anything about. Because what happens is, let's say you get tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and you're feeling really good, but you haven't been there steadily enough that you're holding it very well. You get there and then you show up at the meeting and then the same discouraging things happen and you lose your connection. Well, now you're not any more influential than anyone else who's there who also has lost their connection. You see what we're getting at? So you're not more important to the room. Nobody gets to vibrationally roll over the top of anybody else. But what happens by your taking the time to consistently connect to all of your resources, that means you are really in a place where you are guided and inspired to the harmony that you seek. Because no matter what you've been living, what you've put into the vortex, the biggest components of your vortex are harmony and co-creation. Because in all of the lifetimes that you've lived and all that you brought to your vortex even before this lifetime, it is known that this is a co-creative endeavor and that you're never in this alone, and that without the cooperative components of other humans who surround you, you're not going to have a satisfying experience or a successful anything. And so the dominant thing that you seek and that your inner being is vying for and encouraging and promoting is the getting along with others, the finding common ground, the finding harmony with others, you see. And they feel the same way. They just might be further from realizing it, further from knowing it. So when you consistently find vibrational alignment with who you really are so that you're ready to be ready, then If you're the one who gets to call the meeting, the timing of the meeting is picked with value. If you're the one who gets to decide who's at the meeting, the people that you select to be there is inspired from a broader perspective. If none of that is true and you're just a component that is showing up, still, if you are consistently in alignment, when you get there, your power of influence will be greater. Now, we really want to emphasize, it doesn't mean your power of influence of getting your way on things. It means your power of influencing others to their alignment. You see, that's the most that anyone could hope for. You don't want to show up at a meeting over here and then just duke it out with everyone. That's not working, and it's not ever going to work. We're just the biggest and the boldest, the one that can call the most attention gets to call all the shots. That's never the way the universe works. It's coming into alignment with who you really are that brings your true resources and your true power. And it's the power to harmonize that we're talking about. It's the power to harmonize. We've talked about this before, but never in this context. So this is going to be very valuable. Each of you come into this experience with this triad of intentions, 3 intentions, and the intentions are freedom and growth and joy. And they are equally intended. So you're so free, so naturally free, because your point of attraction cannot be dissuaded. Your point of attraction is your point of attraction. No one else can be your point of attraction. Your point of attraction is your point of attraction. Your point of attraction is what makes freedom always. You're so free that you can attract bondage. You're free to find your vibration or not. You're free to find alignment or not. You're free to feel good or not. You're free to think this or that. Your freedom is absolute. Expansion is a given because the contrast is going to cause you to ask, and that is expansion. But the whole creative process cannot work unless your intention is to find the satisfaction of joy. So when you're reaching for satisfaction, which means alignment with source, then you're reaching for harmony with the others. And it would not be possible for someone determined to find harmony with self first, which is the satisfaction of joy, and then harmony with the inner beings of the others. It would not be possible for you to maintain that for a period of time without the harmony beginning to show evidence in manifested form. It just has to be. And it doesn't matter how divergent the components seem to be. And the reason for that is that when you come into vibrational harmony with who you really are, and you do it often enough that you can get there darn near every time, you're harmonizing with everything that you've put into the vortex that is harmonizing with everything that they've put into the vortex. And the harmony points of this meeting are beyond our ability to make a list. You are so much more in harmony with each other than your disconnected selves let you realize. So when just one comes into alignment and stays there steadily enough so you're ready to be ready, and law of attraction then is responding to that readiness, so the momentum gets greater and greater and greater and greater and greater, the evidence that is necessary for the others to understand becomes part of the forum too. It just does. It just does.
Wonderful. Thank you. I mean, that was it. It was.
It's really helpful to realize that no matter how annoying someone is being or has been and therefore is being, or that you expect them to be, it doesn't matter to what extent that is. If you could take the time, and you can only really get there from your place of alignment, but if you could take the time, the 2 of you or the 10 of you or the billions of you, however many have come to the meeting, could map out what your core intentions are, you would discover that they are mostly so much in harmony with each other that you'd wonder why you ever had any contest at all. But most people aren't getting there. And so a way to get there in any setting, in other words, you could get yourself there if you wanted to. Meditation is an easier way. But you could get yourself there by just taking some discordant topic and asking yourself about you personally, not about anyone else, well, what's the desire that's just beneath that for me? Why do I want that? And then, why do I want that? And then, why do I want that? And then, why do I want that? And what we're suggesting is that deep down there in those whys, you've got common ground with anyone. And once you find that, then the inspiration comes, and the common ground can grow to something else that harmonizes, and something else that harmonizes, and something else that harmonizes, until the solution is just so obvious to everyone you wonder why you didn't see it to begin with.
So really, when I go into that meeting, being the best that I can be at that moment.
Which means you're satisfied. And why are you? You're satisfied because you know the laws, and you're satisfied because you're at least at this point trusting that everyone's vortices have common ground, similar things that you want. And that's satisfying for you to know that deep down you all want agreement, and that you all want harmony. You really do want well-being, no matter how far from it they are, no matter how revengeful someone may have become, or no matter how defeated someone might be, or rejected someone might be, or lost or scared or afraid someone might be, that deep down, deep down, deep down, deep down, deep down, you want the same thing. And because you tuned into your source, you're already there. So the opportunity to harmonize with them, if they would even give it a little chance, is greater now than it has ever been. And you're so satisfied in that knowledge that even if you don't get there, you're still satisfied. You're satisfied with the potential of it getting better because you feel so darn good in the knowing that you hold right now, and that's enough for you. And it's got to be enough because it's all you've got. I'm satisfied because I meditated. I'm satisfied because I'm in love with life. I'm satisfied because I believe in the potential of the future. I'm satisfied. Even though I see no direct route to the resolution that we all want, I'm satisfied in the knowledge that there is one. And that satisfaction indicates alignment and power. Power of well-being, and also power of influence. And resources, you see. It could be a really fun gathering if anyone wanted to talk about anything that's jacked up and not working, for us to play the game. And why? And why? And why? And why? Why do you want that? And why do you think you want that? You'll be thrilled to realize that there are some things that are at the very basis of why you want everything that you've already got. And if you could just tap into the I've already in present tense got that, do you realize how much resistance you'd wipe right out of the way? And how quickly you'd move to a full-blown resolution of all the things that you want? And the universe will deliver a whole bunch of things that you want all at once. Esther got her music system working. She got her living room all changed around. She met two of the loveliest people that she's ever known in her entire life. Talk about a convergence of really good things. It could not have been a better moment if she'd been with all of her favorite people at her favorite restaurant having her favorite meal. It was satisfying, so satisfying. Life is supposed to be satisfying, but you're not ever going to have a satisfying meeting if you haven't had a satisfying meeting with yourself. And then satisfying ideas. Satisfying meaning the idea is good enough because that guy's not going for it, but I don't care because I'm satisfied because I know how good this feels. You don't even have to be patient because things move really quickly once you really get there, you see.
That's great. There was more unspoken there with me than was spoken, and it just always blows me away when you do that. Always blows me away.
That's because we've been with you at every one of your meetings.
Thanks for not telling everybody. Yeah, that's
enough?
Yeah, perfect.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
Really
Thank
good.
you.